Hey, Carson, welcome to the Zoom.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I've got some questions for you. We'll start off with Chip Howard from Sports Talk.
Hey, Carson, how have you tried to stay mentally and physically engaged during this time away?
So all last week we had Zoom meetings instead of our in-person meetings before practice. So we did that all on Zoom so everyone can make that. That was keeping us mentally prepared. We had lifts and workout, I think, Wednesday through Saturday.
And another week of this, I know some guys are banged up. That's probably good for them. But for guys that are healthy, how difficult is it sitting out 2 weeks?
It's sitting out definitely throws everybody off, kind of like, what are we doing day to day now? Like, who are we going to prepare for? Like, that's kind of everyone's thought process. But right now we're getting ready for practice.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com.
Optimistic or confident or whatever word you want to use would you be for when y'all get to get back on the field that you'll be able to pick back up where y'all left off because y'all were playing so well?
Mm-hmm. We were all playing very well. The whole team was. Right now, we're just focused on getting better today at practice. The guys that can be out there, that's the main thing, is that we get our minds right, get off the whole week off break, and that we need to start focusing. Today I think we're going to do a lot of just kind of almost like a bye-week practice where we're going to focus on our little things, technique, and also going some good on good so we can get back into shape.
Do you guys ever talk among yourself about the quote playoff possibilities?
No, sir, not right now. Like some people do here and there. You just kind of hear it everywhere, but right now we're just trying to get better each week. We know that what we need to do to get better, like as an individual player and as a team and as a position group for O-line. And so we have our own personal goals, and nobody really thinks about that far in ahead. You just kind of need to focus week to week, day to day.
Thank you.
Let's go to Brent Zorman from the Houston Chronicle.
Carson, is there a silver lining, though, that maybe these games are now closer? The playoff committee is supposed to make a final decision December 20th, although that might get pushed back. Silver lining being, I know you'd rather be playing right now, but those two games are now much closer to that decision. You all would be fresher on their minds if you do, kind of run the table from here.
I have no idea when they're making a decision. I guess you said it. Again, there's nothing, like most people that are making those decisions never played football or don't play football. So I really don't care what they have to say. We just gotta win every game. It's gonna be tough next 4 games, whoever and whenever we get to play. So that's what we're kind of focusing on.
5 straight games without a sack. Is that something the offensive lineman members talk openly about, or is it almost like a no-hitter in that situation? Do y'all keep it on the down low?
It looks good. There's other stats that people don't talk about. Everyone likes to talk about the no sacks, but, we have to look at pressures. Pressures almost just as big as sacks. If some guy gets like 8 pressures a game, but you didn't let up a single sack, there might have been, he might have thrown an interception because of the pressure, and nobody ever talks about that because it wasn't technically a sack. But, pressures and quarterback hits, that's big things that we take almost just as highly as sacks. A sack, always just try to blame the old lineman. Obviously we're a good scapegoat. But, sometimes it's the tight end missed the block, the running back. Maybe we weren't in the right protection. Maybe, the ball had to be out faster. Maybe it was a receiver that ran the wrong route. So nobody really knows. The main thing we try to focus on is quarterback hits. We don't want Kellen getting hit at all. If we can keep him clean the whole game, that we did our job. And then no pressures, and then the sacks, another big one too.
Distant memory, but what is that feeling like for an offensive lineman in general when a defender beats you and you see your quarterback get just crushed at that moment?
Well, it's not a good feeling. You're pretty pissed off. I'm not gonna let it happen again.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Zach Taylor from WTAW.
Yeah, Carson, I guess another silver lining you might could take away from this is you guys have more prep time for these teams. Could you say that could be one as well?
Yes, definitely. It was kind of like last week. We didn't know if we were playing, then we found out we weren't playing. So, then we were the main thing we're doing right now is just working on stuff and studying a lot of film just on us individually. So like an O-line, we did all of our cut up tapes of like plays we need to correct to not happen again. Because we know we're going to go on a 4-game streak. That's going to be tough. All these teams are going to be good. A couple of them are going to be on the road. A couple of them are at home. So the main thing we were looking at was just focusing on us.
Gotcha. Sorry. And as far as the coronavirus, I mean, do you think there's anything that you guys can do better to help avoid other people getting the positive test, other players getting positive, or is it just something that it happens?
No, it happens. Like there's nothing. Because realistically, I think y'all know, I think there was only 1 or 2 guys that actually got it. It's the contact tracing, and we were in an airplane all together. And so, I'm going to say right now, I think that we did a good job of having herd immunity because, not to tweet our own horn, but the O-line, I think it's only got like a couple people that haven't already had it. So, like, we're good there. I guess we really weren't following the whole, no, go to the bars or nothing. No, I'm joking. Like, we don't go do that. But honestly, right now, the training staff's doing a great job. Like, they got it so down that we have to open up, like, we have individual little waters. We don't use the Gatorade bottles anymore, so that just in case that's spreading. So I think it just happens. You really can't do anything about it.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Tyler Shaw from KBTX.
Hey, Carson, Jimbo was saying, at this point, he can't really complain about, having these postponed games because at one point, you didn't really know if you were even going to play. Do you ever think about that, just considering, this whole year and just how weird it's been that, you're just grateful that you've been able to get this far, play these games, and there's still, an end of a season in sight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2020 has been a hell of a year. Everyone, when it started with spring ball, some people were sad. Some people were like, okay, no spring ball. Then we were like, oh, it won't last the season. We were talking about just the roller coaster emotions. We went from there's no way we're playing like during July to, oh my God, we're going to play, to that one little scare when the 2 conferences backed out and everyone's freaking out the SEC might crumble. And, we kept playing, we kept doing it. So right now, like, there's been a lot of obstacles for us to play. So it's just another obstacle we have to get over.
All right, we got a couple more questions. We got Mike Lucas from KAGS and then Sheehan from Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Hey, Carson, Jimbo mentioned you guys had about 40-something players at practice this week and last week. So I'm curious, can you guys get better with such small numbers in practice? And if so, how do you guys improve without having a full team?
Like, obviously last week we didn't practice. We did a lot more conditioning, staying in shape, and, the mental part of it. Like I was saying, the O-line was going over all the corrections so we know what not to do in the future. We're missing a lot of guys, but that means a lot of young guys are going to get to step up this week and actually do a lot more reps than they probably thought they were. I know as O-line, D-line, I think most of our position group is all good, so we're going to get to go against each other the whole time. That'll be good, kind of just keeping us in shape, letting us get the hit, but not too hard. I think the main thing is, you're missing some guys. Some of these other guys get to step up and play. They get to play later in the season. That'll make them happy to get to practice more and, kind of show what they can do.
All right, next up is Shehan Jayaraja from Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and then we'll go to Owen Buchanan.
Hey, Carson, can you kind of take us inside? I mean, how frustrating is it kind of when you guys are sort of getting into this rhythm to all of a sudden kind of lose 2 games like that?
It's frustrating, obviously. I think not only us, but I think the fans, the 12th man himself, I think everyone's pretty upset about this. But again, nothing we can do about it. It happens. You just kind of got to control what you can control. You can't control the weather. You can't control, what the refs say. You can't control anything. So this is kind of the same deal. The only thing we can focus on is just either going to our Zoom meetings or going to practice right now and get better.
And we'll finish up with Owen Buchanan from Texas.
Yeah, Carson. Hey, first of all, what's it like? I guess this time a year ago, y'all were hearing how bad you are, and now as an offensive line, all you hear is how great you are. And do you want to ever find some of those folks, that were so critical and say, tell them that we didn't know what we were talking about or whatnot?
No. It's just their job. Our job, we should have been doing this good last year. I guess people weren't being so mean to us, but again, I really don't try to read in all that. Again, it's somebody that's a keyboard warrior. So they're probably, if they're going to make fun of me, dude, line up right in front of me. Let's see what you can do. Half time, I think more than half the time, I think 100% they won't be able to do anything. So you just kind of got to, the good or the bad, just ignore it all.
Hey, Carson, could you have envisioned though that y'all would be this good coming into the season?
Yes. I knew we were going to be really good. I think it comes down, like I said earlier, it's not just O-line. We had our goal, all offseason kind of got hurt a little bit. But we all lifted, made sure everyone stayed in shape during the time of quarantine. I think the big thing it helped, no one's talking about it. I think Kellen's game improved like unreal. He's the leader they stepped up to be that we all knew he could be. So that helps us up front. He's getting the ball off fast. The receivers are running good. And also, you got to put a lot of emphasis on the running backs too. They're running the ball hard, so that definitely helps us in the pass game.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's all the questions we have for you, Carson. Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks, Carson.
That's